Picture this. Your kiddo or grandkiddo or niece or nephew or whatever children you have in your lives, they return home from camp with a renewed enthusiasm and a sense of ownership of celebrating joyful Judaism, just like tonight. They're humming tunes under their breath. May the one, may. It's such an earworm. We'll all be doing it all night. You can come and meet Ilana Jagoda in Session Aleph this summer if you really want. They're sitting in your dining room table, wistfully wishing that they could be banging, scream-singing Birkat Hamazon, the blessing after the meal, with all their friends. They're throwing out Jewish phrases all the time, like, well, that's not really nice with a lot of kavod, Mom, respect, right? They're looking at you and saying, well, we can practice Shmirat Adamah, protecting the earth. You're like, what? What is going on here? And they're saying things like, please do not bother me with the tachlis of cleaning my bedroom, okay? The details, I don't need that right now. But also picture this. That same child comes home with a sharper sense of self. They understand just a little bit more about what makes them tick. I'm not really a fan of heights. I climbed that 55-foot tower, and I did not really enjoy it very much, just did not do it for me. Or the one who comes home and says, I fell in love with music. And did I tell you that I played ukulele? Yes, they told you like 18 times already, but you're going to let them keep telling you over and over again. I played ukulele or guitar with them during Friday night Shabbat Shira, and it was so cool. I was in front of the entire camp. I stood up in front of 60 people, and I sang a song, and I'm not scared of being in front of people anymore like that. My personal dream as camp rabbi and camp director. We talked about God one day at camp, and I know more about how I connect to prayer and tefillah and all of those pieces. I had to throw that one in, too. I could really actually be simply who I am, my most authentic self. And people at camp, they not only accept me for that, but they celebrated me for it. These are actual real things we've heard before, all of us camp directors, and these are things we hear every year and that we've heard for decades from people coming back from camp. I stand before you today, like I said, a proud member of camp at Azrui and then at Kutz Camp of Blessed Memory, and all of those things before even coming to work at Camp Newman. And when I sat for the first time as a 10-year-old in a round, dark room with 500 people around me singing Shabbat Shira songs, the evening song session at Olin sang Ruby, and it's hyped up and it's loud and it's really, it's a lot, but I felt the music in my bones. And I was clapping and harmonizing, and I felt it. And I felt that inside of me, and that sparked something for me. And I came home and I said to my parents, I think I want to be a song leader for sure. Maybe I'll be a rabbi one day, and maybe one day if I can, maybe I'll be a camp director. That would be really cool. And I did it, which is pretty cool that I got to do that. I was 10. And I'm not the only person who's found their life's meaning or their life's purpose from camp too. I've talked to numerous people, nurses, doctors, social workers, teachers, outdoor education specialists, folks working with kids with special needs, an entire spectrum of different careers. And these are all people who found their path, they found their passion through something that they did at camp. The people that they met or the things that they just enjoyed doing while at camp in the summer. And I've heard these anecdotes for the last 12 years that I've been at Camp Newman, and I know that so many people across all of our camps have been hearing it for years and decades, really. Now, last year when I came to Emanu-El for Shabbat, I brought a story about a ruby, I think, is the one I brought. It's one of my favorites, and to me, it's all about resiliency. Now, my other favorite story that I tell at camp, it goes like this. I'm going to tell you the really mini version tonight. There's this king, and he has every single kind of lavish jewel, every kind of beautiful piece of artwork, every kind of beautiful piece of fabric, clothing, everything that you could imagine, but he still is just missing something. And he says to his advisors, I need something else. There's something that I'm seeking, and I don't know what it is, but it's something that's going to make me happy when I'm sad, and sad when I'm happy. And the advisors, they all look at each other like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to go find now? And they start scrambling, and they go through the entire land, every village, every nook and cranny, trying to figure out what can we bring back to this king of ours that will make him happy when he's sad and sad when he's happy. I don't know what that is. And months later, one of these advisors is walking through the market, and he looks pretty dejected, and a vendor sees him and says, "Why are you so down? What do you need? Like, can I help you? You look so sad." And he goes, "I'm just trying to find something for the king. I've been trying for months with so many people, and I'm looking for something that makes him happy when he's sad and sad when he's happy. That's what he's looking for, to complete his life." And the vendor, with a little sparkle, a little gleam in his eye, he says, "Just wait here. Stay here for just a few minutes." And he comes back and he places a ring in the advisor's hand, and there's an inscription on the inside of the ring. The advisor reads it, and he starts to tear up a little bit, and he runs back to the palace. He brings it straight to the king. He drops it in his hand. He says, "Your Majesty, I think I found it." And the king looks at it, and he looks at the inscription on the inside, and it says, written in beautiful script, "Gam ze ya'avor." This too shall pass. And the king realizes, he starts crying. He's overcome with emotion, as are all the advisors there, because they all realize this too shall pass. It's the phrase for him, for this king, that when you're looking for something that'll make you sad when you're happy, but happy when you're sad, it's Gam ze ya'avor. This too shall pass. I bring you this story today as just my final little statement and my testament to the skills, the feelings, and really the empowerment that we bring to our campers and staff at camp. And honestly, for the adults who come, right? For me and the faculty, and we've got a huge adult community, like doctors, nurses who come to camp every summer, all those people. Because hard, difficult, sad, terrible things happen in our world all the time. We all know that. We all have seen it. Camp has lived through it. We went through a fire and rebuilt almost all of camp so far, right? And we're going through so much and thinking about so many people in the Middle East right now, and in Israel and Gaza. And all of those things happen, and things happen in our day-to-day lives that are really difficult, right? In the Torah portion too, Moses keeps coming back to Pharaoh, "Please let my people go." No, resistance over and over and over again. And it took a lot of hardship, but we did. We made it out of slavery. That passed also. The difficult moments in our day-to-day lives, they also pass. They come through. We keep going. The beautiful moments, I have little kids. I try to savor those little moments with them. Those moments pass too. It's like they slip through like sand sometimes. Childhood lasts for such a short breath of our lives. It is just such a little glimpse. And camp is so special because it doesn't just teach kids, but it allows kids and adults to be able to embrace the fun, the goofy, the silliness, the wonder, the awe, the vibrant, beautiful Judaism, just like you're doing here, but in a place that is theirs. Because they don't have you there. And they have to make their own way, and they have to figure it out on their own. It allows them to be independent, to try new things, to maybe fail at something and say, "I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try that again next year. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to come back and do that, and I'm going to do better next time." Or maybe that is not my thing. I'm not going up that tower ever again, right? I actually love our tower if you've ever been to camp. But it allows kids to build resiliency and grit, and understanding that you have to embrace those happy times because they are going to pass, and you have to persevere through those sad times because they also are going to pass. There's an old joke that I like to tell sometimes about other things, but I adopt it to camp, and I'm like, do you know how you're going to know someone loves Jewish camp? It's because they're going to tell you in the first 5 minutes that you meet, and then they're going to sing you their top 5 cheers and their favorite thing that they ever did at camp before in the moments that you first meet each other. And people don't understand sometimes if you've never been to camp, but if you have been to camp or if you've seen someone who loves camp, you understand that they do it because Jewish overnight camp, it is just a magical place. During a time when all of us could use all of the consistent, warm embrace of our Jewish siblings, camp is just the place where we can all come together and we can celebrate the beautiful, even if it's just for that brief moment that it exists together. And we can rejoice in moving through those hard things because, again, every one of those pivotal moments, everyone, the good, the hard, the sad, the middle of the road, they all pass. We really hope, all of us that are here from all the camps, we do this work because we love it so, so, so much. It's a weird thing to leave your friends and family for 2.5 months every summer. You're like, bye, I'm leaving it for camp now. See you. See you in August, But we do it because we love it. We really do. And if you have a kiddo in your life who might benefit from getting some of these pieces, I think every kiddo might. There's so many camps, and there's wonderful places to be able to send them. So we really hope that we get to see you. And so many of us also, adults can go to camp too. So we're really here for summer camp tonight, but I'm just going to encourage you to look into it for you because it is just a magical place, and I think all of us need that warm and loving embrace right now more than ever. Shabbat shalom.